Happy holidays, everybody. It's Brian with your market monitor here on December 14th. First, some big news about the inflation data that just came out. So good news for mortgage rates and inflation data. So consumer prices went up less than expected, less than the experts projected, by 0.1%, which is a lot more than they thought for November inflation. So that's good. We saw an immediate downtick in mortgage rates by a little bit. And just to give you an idea of exactly what that looks like right now. So at its peak, about 2 months ago, mortgage rates for a 30-year fix were at 7.25. Right now, they're right above 6.25, about 6.25 on a $400,000 loan. That's a difference of $266 per month in your mortgage payment just because of that mortgage rate. So that's good news. Wanted to kick that off today. What I also want to do here real quick with everybody, obviously have my slideshow. First thing I want to cover, let you guys know I do have new winter reports with some of the latest data and trends and everything you might need to know if you are looking to buy or sell a house here in the next few months. That is completely free, no strings attached. I don't even ask you to give me your information, although I'd welcome it if you want to give it to me. I'm always happy to have a conversation, but you can find those on the link in my Instagram, the link tree, which is right there if you want to put that into your browser, or if it's easier for you, just find me on Instagram at Bry Says, go into the bio and that link tree link is right there and you can find it. So obviously first things first there, but let's start at the top, shall we? So looking back, a lot of this data came in at the end of November. So that's what we're looking at here. So CoreLogic, Home Price Insight, since the beginning of last year, so January 2021, they've been tracking the percent change of home prices across the nation for the past, almost 2 years. That first line there, 3.8, is the average for the past, 13 years or so since 2008 and the recovery after that. So as you can see, the average at 3.8 has been nothing but average since then. So since the market's pretty much opened up after COVID, people jumped back into the market here, and interest rates were super low, artificially low. There was a lot of activity in the market, and it really drove prices up because inventory has always been an issue, and especially an issue these days, pretty much anywhere you are in America. So you can see, compared to the average of 3.8, ever since then, it's been extremely high and inflated by 5 times or more through the beginning half of this year. And as we've seen, even though a lot of the headlines these days are just that the market's totally tanking, the real estate market, it's anything but. It's actually regulating itself back down to a normal percent change, which was, as I said, over the past 15 years or so, 3.8. So it would be really good for literally everyone to have that back under control and just have normal, steady price growth across all the real estate markets. Obviously, individually, things are a little bit different, but taking this nationwide average, it has been anything but normal, and I would argue anything but healthy. So we are just seeing the normalization, which is good. Home values, hopefully they've hit bottom here. That's what the source Black Knight is saying. So here is the percent month over month change in median home values since the beginning of this year. So January, February, March, April, May, down into June. So the first half there, everything, obviously, when interest rates started going up, a lot of people jumped in the market to, lock in a rate that was pretty good. And now that we've seen this steady climb on borrowing money and the expense to borrow money, it's come back down. Hopefully we've seen the bottom here. I do believe that we probably have in a lot of markets, and I'll show you a few reasons why. But so as we can see, though, since the beginning of the year, home values did go up, not as significantly as that 15-year average we saw in the last slide, but month over month change, they did go up, and now they've come back down to kind of a more regulated, flat part of the curve, if you want to call it that, which is not necessarily a bad thing. But as interest rates are coming back down now, I think we're going to find a new normal over the next couple months and in the next few years of, the 5 or 6% range, and that will be what people consider normal for a 30-year fixed. And that's actually, it's going to be what it is. I'm not going to say it's good or bad. It's better than it was in the middle part of this year when they were at 7.25. But I don't think that that's going to have any meaningful, lasting effect on decreasing home values for many reasons. But now that they're self-regulating, a lot more buyers are going to come back into the market. A lot more sellers are going to decide to, move now that they know what to expect. And hopefully we do see some more inventory because, as I said, and as everyone's saying that's an expert in this real estate market, having low inventory is always going to keep home prices high, and we have extremely low inventory across the nation. So here is a quote from Mark Fleming. He's the chief economist at First American. House price appreciation has slowed in all 50 markets we track, but the deceleration is generally more dramatic in areas that experience the strongest peak appreciation rates. So what does that look like here? All right, so this is home price movement in September, month over month, and then we're going to look again, or take the same data and look another month in. So in September, though, month over month appreciation in the top 20 cities, all of these were down. The ones that are highlighted, the cities that are in red, are going to be the ones that we look at in the next slide, but those were the ones with the biggest month over month appreciation or depreciation in this case. So Dallas, Denver, Las Vegas, Phoenix, San Diego, San Francisco, and Seattle. So taking that from September into last month, which would be October in this case, and then this month being November, because we're at the end here, November 29th, those same 5 cities. So those depreciation numbers went from, a negative 2.3, negative 4.3, so on and so forth, onto less extreme depreciation there. But let's just, kind of review here what that's all about. So if we relate that back to the quote, that generally means these areas had the biggest peaks in appreciation. So home values shot up significantly in the past 2.5 years, 2 years, and then significantly again self-regulated here with the increase in interest rates. So that shouldn't be very surprising. The places that went up the most are also going to be the ones that dropped the most. So if prices drop by X, we're back to, and let's see what Case Shiller is saying right here. So percent depreciation. If we go down 5% nationwide, it'll be back to the home prices or average home prices of February of earlier this year. They go down 10%, it'll be just like October a year ago. Down 15%, it'll be like June of last year, 20% February of last year, 25% October of 2020. Just to give you an idea of how much these home prices have appreciated in the past 2 years, regulating prices here a little bit and bringing it back down to earth is a good thing. Home price appreciation pre and post pandemic. So I don't want to talk you guys through this too much. I feel like I talk a lot, and these numbers kind of speak for themselves. I encourage you to kind of pause this and look at it. I don't want to go through them all too much, but just look at 2017 to 2020 numbers in the blue, and then compare that to the green rows. You can see just significant appreciation pretty much across the board. Nationally, let's focus here on nationally. 2017 to 2020 was 12%, which is still pretty high. And then 2020 to 2022, it was 38%. So just a crazy amount of appreciation there. And really, if you think about it, it's unsustainable. No one's salary goes up 38% year over year. If these things just kept going up the way they were, it would have and did quickly make things very unaffordable for most home buyers in every market. And if we go back to 2017, 2020 numbers, 12%, I mean, even that's pretty high. But if we can self-regulate back down to that kind of normal appreciation year over year, that's a little bit more steady between 3.5 to even 12 on the high end. I mean, that's much more healthy of a market for everyone than what we've seen over the past 2 years. So once again, please take advantage of these free resources, and please reach out to me anytime you guys have literally any questions about anything. Always happy to talk through stuff, offer whatever expertise, advice, resources I possibly can to you guys. No strings attached. I am just happy to be your resource. So you can reach me there. DM me on Instagram. You can call me 617-851-9141 or email me at brian.mccarthy@compass.com. Hope everyone is having great holiday seasons right now, wherever you are. Hope you're warm, cozy, and with a lot of family and people you love. Take care, and I will talk to you soon.